Hey guys, and welcome back. So what I've done is I went ahead and cached out the high-res sim using the up-res geometry as well as the high-res interior, and I wrote them to disk. I wrote out the point cloud for these guys, and I'm gonna deform them now. So I'll wait for it to finish. And I also wrote out the entire activation points for the entire interior faces, so not just the isolated area but all of it instead. Let me show that. So this is the point cloud. I think it's emitting too much. I think all these guys shouldn't be activating, but it's fine for now. And then this is the RBD geo, and what we need is we need this geometry and this guy. So I'm going to do an object merge and an object merge here. This is what we're passing to the DOPs, and then in the DOP import I simply imported only the up-res main and the up-res interior. And this is what the point cloud looks like. So we have everything included, and we want to use this with a transform piece to transform these guys. I'm gonna deform each object individually, make sure that everything is working fine, and once we do that we get this weird issue, and the reason for that is because our input geometry is animated, and we don't want that. We don't want to apply double transformation. So I'm gonna use a time shift. We could grab the pack data before the transform, but it's fine to do it here as well. So we're gonna freeze it at frame 1, and now if we look at the result, everything is behaving as expected. So this is the interior faces, or the up-res interior only. Okay, let's copy this. And this is for the remaining, and we need to do the same thing with the time shift. And this is with the up-res. I've done a preview of this, so let's take a look at that. And this is how it looks like with all the up-res pieces. Now obviously we could go higher in terms of details, but we have plenty already. We're adding tons of details. I really like how these big blocks, these guys, are separating. There's definitely a lot of interesting visual there, and I think we can go a bit higher in terms of resolution. And so this is all done live, including from the beginning. I didn't change anything. And I'm going to show the original version, which is this. You can see there's more details. There's a section that completely disintegrates, which I'm not super happy with, but it looks nice. And I think there's definitely a lot more details in the up-res process. This one does not include the interior faces though. And T-Rex. Yeah, it doesn't include the interior faces in the preview. So what we have these two guys now. I want to add the remaining sections, and let's find where that is, if we have them here. Don't remember if this file has everything. So this one is not the latest. It doesn't have the wood setup included. So I'm gonna pause for a second. I want to import the remaining parts and show you everything in the viewport. So let me find the file. Okay, so I have the file, and I realized the sim that I used, V12, was not the latest one that I had in the wood file, but they're both fine. I'm just going to show the how to stitch everything together. So this is the one we used for the upres workflow, and that's fine. We can keep that. And for the, actually let's do this. And for the wood and the roof, I'm gonna use 22 because that's the one that has everything. So this is the wood geo from week 4, and this is the ground. I'm gonna use a transform piece. So this is for the wood structure, and same thing here. And for all this to work, we also need to set up a roof and ground. We need to set up a static RBD objects for these guys. I'm gonna do that just to explain the workflow properly. So out wood, and then inside the upres workflow, we will have to include them back. So RBD packed objects, same like we did with whatever static geometry we had. So this guy would be wood and animated static objects, and this is just for the collision, so that when the active newly activated pieces start interacting, they have the proper collision geometry. Roof and ground. And so now everything is included. But because I used a different sim, and this is a great example, by the way, because I used a different cache for the main RBD, what we need to do now is we have to update all the point clouds generation. So this part, all the activation is now different, as well as the interior faces activation. So these two guys we have to recache again, and then we just recache the new upres. That's pretty much it. We only need the activation to update. Everything else will propagate through. Okay, so and then for the viz, I'm simply going to turn these on in the viewport. We could turn on Kong as well. Okay, let's find the original geo, which is this guy. Let's pin that, and then this guy. Now obviously the main layer is not matching the wood and the rooftop, but it's fine for this example. And now we have everything in the viewport. Cool, so that's how we would merge everything. I will do another version of this next week and show you guys with V22 that has the wood and everything and how it's going to look like. And for now we're going to talk about how to do the glass and how to attach the extra tiles and how to do another layer of RBD sims on top of this. So see you in the next video.